Today, we're going to talk about my 5 favorite foods that can actually help you fight harmful body fat. The first one I'm actually going to talk about is the carrot. Now, carrots are so common that you wouldn't think that they would actually fight body fat, but they're really quite powerful. Turns out that carrots contain a huge amount of dietary fiber and some useful bioactives, carotenoids named after carrots or carrots named after carotenoids, these orange chemicals, natural chemicals that actually make the carrot orange, along with the dietary fiber, stimulates your metabolism. And one of the things that it can actually do is to trigger your body's a type of fat called brown fat. And brown fat basically acts like a space heater. You turn it on click by eating carrots, and it'll ramp up and fire up. And as it's burning, creating heat, it's actually drawing down the fuel that it needs to create that heat from your harmful body fat, your visceral fat. So your brown fat fires up after you eat carrots, and it steals the fuel that it needs from harmful visceral fat, and then it burns down your harmful body fat. Now, I didn't used to be a fan of carrots, right? It's in the salad bar, you sprinkle some on for a little bit of color, but actually carrots are absolutely delicious to eat. If you want to roast carrots, they are absolutely delicious. Now, I'm not telling you to sprinkle sugar on it, but you can actually drizzle a little bit of maple syrup on it if you want to give it just a little bit of caramelization, not too much, and you'll get this beautiful, nice flavor. And it's great for stews that you can actually make as well. So, and a carrot soup, carrot with ginger soup, what an amazing thing to combine. Now, a lot of people don't know this about carrots, but the original carrots were not orange. Can you guess what color they were? Purple. The original carrots were purple carrots, and you'll actually see these in the market these days. They call them heirloom carrots, or you see them in farmers markets. They're kind of gnarly looking, actually. They can be, but they're beautiful and purple on the outside. That's the color on the outside, kind of their skin deep purple. And then if you break it open and you look on the inside of it, you'll see that it's yellow on the inside. All right, purple on the outside, yellow on the inside. This is actually what the original native carrot was like. Now, in Europe, farmers started to celebrate the freedom fighter, William of Orange, who actually helped to free the Netherlands from Spanish rule. And William of Orange, to celebrate it, they actually started to breed the carrot to be orange. And that's really this backstory of why carrots became orange. And that's what we see today. The benefit of the original carrot, purple, anthocyanins, also good for your metabolism. So carrots are one of my favorite foods for fighting body fat. The second food we're going to talk about are beans. Now, if you actually don't know this already, beans are one of Mother Nature's healthiest foods. If you think about all the foods you could possibly eat, the bean is probably, stands head and shoulders above the other. If you look at all the blue zones, these are the places that my good friend Dan Buettner has discovered where people live to ripe old ages on a regular basis. One of the common denominators that everyone in these blue zones, longevity zones, eat are beans, whether they're in Asia, whether they're in Europe. Beans are a common staple. So what do beans actually do? Well, beans improve your metabolism, which helps you fight body fat. So what's in a bean? Well, you've got a really great source of dietary fiber and healthy fats. And those dietary fibers actually get down into your gut, feed your gut microbiome, healthy gut bacteria, right? Okay, beans are good for gut health. And when your gut bacteria are happy and well fed by beans, you know what it does? It actually cranks up your metabolism, makes your body's glucose sensitivity, metabolism work more efficiently. Good, healthy gut bacteria lower lipids. They're sort of Mother Nature, the gut bacteria are like Mother Nature's statins, all right? And they can actually lower your blood lipids, and they trigger your brown fat. Brown fat being that kind of engine that fires up, and in order to fire up, draws the fuel from harmful visceral fat in order to be able to burn down harmful body fat. So lower your lipids, burn down harmful body fat. And by the way, the gut bacteria also lower inflammation, which protects you against all kinds of chronic diseases. Now, studies have been done actually looking at people eating just a simple can of pre-cooked beans. These are like grocery store beans, white beans, for example. And it was shown that eating just 5 cups of canned white beans, navy beans, over the course of the week, right? 7 days in a week, just 5 of those days, you have 1 cup of navy beans, and you'll actually burn down harmful visceral fat, and your waistline will actually shrink. This was done at the University of Toronto. And by shrinking your waistline, it actually means that the harmful visceral fat on the inside is actually shrinking as well. So how do I like to eat beans? Well, first of all, I like to soak them. Okay, you can get rid of some of that phytic acid. Makes it faster to cook as well. Makes them also less gassy, if that's something that you're concerned about. And I love to just have a simple bean soup or a bean stew. Cook it nice and slowly. Add a little bit of garlic, add a little bit of rosemary, add some carrots, which we talked about, are also good for your metabolism. Cook it down very, very slowly. Man, what a great dish that you can have that's gut healthy, fires up your metabolism, and burns down harmful body fat. By the way, when you make beans, the best part about it is that usually you make enough so that you would have enough for the next day. So if you're doing it for dinner, making a bean stew, you're definitely going to have enough for lunch or maybe even a second dinner. And beans are one of those dishes, one of those foods that tastes better the second day, even better the second day. All right, so that's the second one of my favorite foods that fight fat. Third food, let's talk about chili peppers. Okay, now I know some of you are saying, I can't stand spicy food. Well, you're probably a super taster. That means that your taste buds are really, really densely packed on your tongue. So even a little bit of chili pepper stimulates all these taste buds. And, it can actually be a little hard to take. But for most people, chili peppers are just fine. And in fact, it's that zing that you get when you have hot sauce, for example, something spicy. And chili peppers come in all sorts of forms, right? You can actually have them fresh off the plant, sauteed fresh chilies. You can have them roasted. Roasted chilies actually have this deeper, slightly different flavor than the fresh ones. You would saute. You can have them dried, right? So think about what you sprinkle on a pizza, those dried chili flakes, also chili, all right? And then there is chili powder, which you can have as well. Now, there are hundreds of different kinds of chilies, and I'm not going to really talk about all the different types of chili, but I do want to say that chili peppers contain a natural bioactive, a natural chemical called capsaicin. That's C-A-P-S-A-I-C-I-N, capsaicin. And this is the natural chemical that fires up on your taste buds. So here's what happens. You have some chili pepper, let's call it hot sauce. That show where they actually have celebrities eat super hot wings, all right? And you can kind of see that reaction when the sauce gets hotter. Well, that's the capsaicin. And capsaicin attaches to the taste buds on your tongue. Okay, here's the capsaicin. Here's the taste bud. It gets right into that taste bud and it fires up a signal, all right? That's the key going to the lock, and it sends a signal from your tongue into your brain. Now, that signal from capsaicin to your brain causes your brain to release hormones, okay? In this case, epinephrine, and that's a stress hormone that comes down. It causes you to sweat. It causes you to breathe more heavily. It causes you to flush and get red. Sound familiar after eating really, really spicy food? So we know this happens. And actually, if you eat something really spicy and close your eyes, you'll actually feel that signal going to your brain and coming down your neck, because the hormone, that neurotransmitter, actually goes down the nerves to your neck. And you know what they do? That adrenaline, norepinephrine, actually fires up your brown fat. Remember the brown fat? That's the kind of fat that actually fires up like a space heater, and it burns down harmful visceral fat. So back to the chili pepper. When you eat spicy chili peppers, all right, what you're doing is you're actually firing up your brain. Your brain is then sending a signal to your brown fat, and your brown fat's burning down harmful body fat. I happen to like spicy foods, not too spicy, but spicy enough. It's just sort of part of the joy of eating, have a little different flavor. If you're not sure how to actually look at chili peppers, go to one of these hot sauce stores, and they're a wealth of information about them. But you should try it. It actually is really, really good. A little bit of spice is actually really nice in terms of your metabolism. Okay, next food we're going to talk about. Mushrooms are great for burning down harmful body fat. Now, how does that happen? How does a lowly white button mushroom do this? Well, it turns out that mushrooms are kind of soft, but they're pretty powerful. They contain a natural substance called beta-D-glucan, G-L-U-C-A-N. Beta-D-glucan, it's a soluble fiber. And you know what that soluble fiber does? It actually gets down and feeds your gut bacteria. Beta-glucan also turns on your brown fat to help burn down harmful white visceral fat. And beta-glucan also lowers inflammation. So again, mushrooms have these multi-pronged effects to help you burn down body fat. And let's talk about mushrooms for a second, because I love mushrooms. I like to cook. I love eating mushrooms. The beta-glucan is found in fancy mushrooms like porcini, all right, but morels. But beta-glucan is even found in that lowly white button mushroom, all right? So if you go to the grocery store and you buy white button mushrooms, they're very inexpensive. What do we normally do, right? We take them home, maybe wash them off a little bit. Sometimes there's a little bit dirt on them. I highly recommend that. And then we cut off the stem. And I used to throw away the stem and just eat the cap, cook with the cap. But I'm telling you, the beta-glucan is in the cap of the mushroom. All right, so you've got good stuff in the cap, but the stem has twice as much of the beta-D-glucan. All right, so eat the stem as well as the cap. If you're not sure what to do with the stem, you can saute them, or you can make them into a soup. Just put them into a blender. You can actually even put it into a smoothie, kind of as part of, it'll give it a little bit of earthy flavor to it. But I will tell you that, or put it into a soup. But beta-glucan in the mushrooms. So white button mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms, maitake mushrooms, oyster mushrooms, portobello, all crimini, all great culinary mushrooms. Now, how come I haven't mentioned the other types of mushrooms like lion's mane, reishi, etc., cordyceps? Because those are medicinal mushrooms, and I'm talking about foods that fight body fat through culinary mushrooms. You should use to fight fat. You should actually eat the culinary mushrooms. Another pro tip that you might not know about is that mushrooms are a source of vitamin D. Vitamin D is really important for immune health and bone health, a lot of other healthy parts. And most people around the world, especially in the Western world, don't get enough vitamin D. So we take vitamin D supplements. But I can tell you that mushrooms are one of the few foods that actually are a source of vitamin D. Hey, if you're enjoying this content, then I know you'll love my guide on the 5 foods that you can add to your daily routine to optimize your fitness. We all know that food is a powerful tool that we can use to elevate our health. And my guide tells you about 5 specific foods that you can add to you and your family's next meal plan. And you can get it for free right now in the caption below. Now, back to the video. All right. So, the human skin can make vitamin D, but we got to go outside in the sunshine. All right. Same deal with mushrooms. If you want to have your mushroom, which is a source of vitamin D, make more vitamin D, you know what you do? Take that white button mushroom, slice it longitudinally, lengthwise, all right? And put all those flat pieces on a plate and stick it in your kitchen in front of the window with the sun coming in. And when mushrooms get a suntan through the window, guess what? They make more vitamin D, just like human skin. So a little pro tip, if you want your mushrooms to do a little bit more work for you, in addition to burning down harmful body fat and fueling your gut health and lowering inflammation, you want your mushrooms to actually give you a source of vitamin D. Slice them open and give them some sunshine as a way to actually do that as well. By the way, another comment about mushrooms, I recommend you to cook mushrooms if you're actually going to eat them rather than eat them raw. And never, ever go out and forage your own mushrooms. Unless you're already an expert forager, don't let the experts do it, because there's a lot of mushrooms out there that are actually poisonous. They'll kill you. So don't do it. Go to the market, go to the store, rely on the mushroom forager to get you the stuff that's the good stuff that's good, actually good for you. All right, let's talk about one more food. It's called Pu-erh tea. P-U-erh. Pu-erh tea comes from a small town, used to be a village called Pu-erh in southwest China. And this is actually a fermented tea. It's a probiotic tea, if you can believe it or not. It is roasted dark. It's kind of a black colored tea, very dry, and it's got this smoky flavor to it. I love it. And in China, they actually sip Pu-erh tea after dinner as a digestive, all right, helps you digest your food. And it turns out that this fermented tea was used for trading, like on the Silk Road, thousands of years ago, because fermented tea would last longer, all right, could make it all the way to Europe. And so they actually took this tea, the Pu-erh tea, and we turned them into cakes and bricks. It's pretty amazing to see this sort of round cake, solid cake, or a brick of Pu-erh tea. And you would actually break it with a hammer in order to be able to get little bits off that you can actually put into your teacup. Now, today you can get Pu-erh tea that's powdered. You can get the leaves. You can have it in a tea bag. It's really worth trying. But what does Pu-erh tea have? Well, it's got the same stuff of tea, catechins, that actually help to fire up your brown fat to burn down harmful body fat. But Pu-erh tea, because it's a probiotic tea, all right, it's got its own bacteria, healthy bacteria in there that feeds your gut, which then lowers inflammation, lowers blood lipids, and helps to fire up your brown fat as well. And so Pu-erh tea is a digestive that actually does a little bit more, and it actually burns down harmful body fat. I hope you found this useful, and thank you for watching. Hi there. If you enjoyed watching this video, I know you'll love the next one. Stay here and check it out, and I'll see you there.